I work for an architecture firm in my day job. I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo with an emphasis in sustainable design. Got a Bachelor of Architecture degree from there. The last 4 years helped to form the Green Building Council of Ventura County, which in the past year has joined with groups in Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties to form a chapter of the U.S. Green Building Council for the Central Coast, which is termed C4. It's California Central Coast Chapter. So that's where the C4 comes from, of the U.S. Green Building Council. And my role is that for Ventura County, I'm the regional chair, meaning that I coordinate activities kind of at the county level and kind of keep all the players together as far as event planning and events, public event schedule, and contacts with local governments that want to know more about green building, and then kind of coordinate that type of effort with the larger board of directors for the chapter as a whole. Well, C4 is set up as a conduit for information to really try to get people understanding the connection between buildings that we inhabit and the natural environment and what the impact of buildings are. Most folks don't realize that buildings account for about 35% of primary energy use from society as a whole, and that when you look into the embodied energy that's contained within all the materials that we use and getting them to the site and all the processes of construction and everything, that buildings account for close to 50% of all greenhouse gas emissions. So it's very important folks recognize that not only is the building sector a major component of a contributor to global warming and resource consumption, but that there's a lot that they can do once they're aware of that to help minimize those impacts. C4 currently is getting itself pretty well established locally in terms of getting a regular schedule of events happening and getting kind of consistently established across all 3 counties and coordinated. We're really focusing right now on public education, a lot of outreach efforts, getting people to know who we are and what our programs available are. And that we're doing a lot of public lectures. At least once a month we have a speaker come in on a topic related to green building and the environment. We have set up classes twice a year and some workshops in addition to those that help to teach people about the LEED rating system, which is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. That program is set up by the U.S. Green Building Council nationally and is applied, basically throughout the United States and the world to set up a measurable set of criteria that buildings can use and designers can use in designing and constructing their buildings, so that they can, in a very holistic way, come at their how they go about building, from how they choose the land, how they set up the energy systems, how they use the materials that go in, and basically just trying to get folks to understand how to apply those tools and get accredited in using that system. Well, it all starts with awareness, and so the first thing folks can do is realize how just simple energy efficiency improvements and simple turning lights on and off makes every little bit makes an impact in aggregate. In terms of helping the organization achieve its goals, we're always looking for volunteers that can help spread information at Earth Day fairs and street fairs that we table at and we have booths at. always looking for folks that can help with whatever skill set they bring. If it's doing keeping in contact with other organizations such as other environmentally minded groups, school districts, cities and counties that might have staff that want to learn more about it, and have more resources available at their fingertips. A lot of counties and municipalities are looking to set up more environmentally friendly programs for their permit processing and encouraging that type of development. And we're always looking for folks that can help provide that information and make that contact and be available as a resource to the folks that need that info. All that information in terms of what's involved with membership and how to become a member, how to activate your membership in terms of interacting with the group and showing up to meetings and kind of finding out what programs are available to plug into. All that stuff is available on our website, which is www.usgbcc4.org. The key thing about green building, and where we're really finding that it's gaining a lot of traction, is that building is a very kind of complex process, and that involves a whole lot of different stages. It involves a lot of different players and different stakeholders in getting a project through. Even just a simple remodel, you've got the designer, you've got the client, you've got where you're getting the materials from, you have the municipality or the city that's involved, and you have the builder, among others. And so it's very important that everybody in that process is involved in understanding what all the impacts are of the built environment in terms of our natural environment, and what the connections are, and how the decisions along the way affect the impact of the actions that we take. So the key focus of green building is the approach called integrated design, where the goals are stated and everybody kind of acknowledges how their piece or component of the project comes into play, and how it interacts to make the final structure, and how it's not just up to the architect, for instance, to kind of say, well, this is how it's going to be, and this is how we're going to make things more green. The input and the feedback from each of the stakeholders and each of the folks in the process is critical to ultimately achieving those goals. Because if the contractor doesn't know what the kind of guiding principles are, in terms of material selection, then they're going to end up selecting some things that may have a detrimental effect because they just weren't aware that those were some of the goals. So it's really important that everybody kind of know what the criteria are in terms of human health impacts, resource use, energy use, and kind of all get on the same page. So that whole concept of integrated design and construction is really central.